truth. I'm here to show the world to you. I'm going to make you realize. So open your eyes.
What is going on, my tacticians, and welcome to, it has been a long time since I did this, a tactical debate. So, we have an interesting conundrum facing us. I was proposed a very interesting question today, and there was some heated debate. And it was, are cheaters, cheaters, hackers, etc. in the Pokemon community, are they toxic to the community? So, that was an interesting question I would propose, and to help me debate this question, I have brought along two of my fabulous friends from my tactical Discord server, and their names go by Damon and Groudon Gamer. Link to Groudon Gamer's YouTube channel in the description. But in any case, welcome to Tactical Debate, you two. How's it going?
Hello. Good, thank you.
What's up, guys? What's up?
Alright, so we have an interesting thing here, So here's how this is going to go, you two. I'm going to be asking you various questions, and you're going to be trying to convince me, one way or the other, whether or not cheaters, hackers, etc., are they toxic to the community? Now, I'm not meaning are they jerks, etc. No, are they healthy or poisonous to the community as a whole? That is what I'm asking about. So, do you guys understand what we are debating?
Yes, my kind Reshiram.
Yes, I understand.
Alright, good. And this is just a disclaimer. No, we are not debating whether or not hackers and cheaters are right for hacking and cheating. No. We are debating, are they toxic to the community? Are they healthy or poisonous? That is what we're discussing. So, let's get on with those questions. So, first of all, when it comes to the Pokemon, what is your perception on how trainers should go about obtaining their Pokemon, and why?
Okay, I'll go first then. In my opinion, to be a legitimate Pokemon trainer, you need to do the effort yourself. If you circumnavigate that, if you use other methods such as power saves, you become an illegitimate Pokemon trainer. Now, that's not to say it's right or wrong, but it is illegitimate to become a Pokemon trainer that uses these hacks. You are therefore going against Game Freak, against what Nintendo wants in their game. They've made this very clear by making very specific rules and very tight rules in their tournaments. So if you are hacking, you are going against Nintendo and how it intended the game to be played.
Alright, that's a pretty bold opening statement, pretty straightforward. What about you, Groudon Gamer? Do you have anything to contest that? Silence from the Groudon Gamer.
David.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay, sorry, can you cut that part out? Because, I wasn't talking for some reason.
You're gonna have to turn your mic up there, man. You gotta turn up your mic there.
Yeah, no, I have push to talk because, I'm outside right now, and there's cars passing, so I don't want that noise being in the video, but I was pressing the push to talk, so... Anyways,
don't worry about it. Just speak loudly. We can hear you just fine. In fact,
yeah.
we can't even hear the cars.
They are going right through my headphones. Anyway, Damon, what you said about, being a legitimate Pokemon player, that really doesn't matter to most people, except the people who play the game legit. You guys that are watching the video, I'm sure Damon and David, Impy, Tactical Knowledge, you guys might be confused about what I'm saying. But if the Pokemon are legal, they have legal stats, legal moves, it's pretty much fine. Besides, what Nintendo or Game Freak says, that they are not legal. They have legal moves, legal sets. Everything's legal about them, so I don't see the problem with using the games. But again, while I do agree that legal hacked mons, they're legal and fine, what I do not agree on, I'm sorry about that.
Groudon Gamer, I think you're misinterpreting the question. The question was, when it comes to Pokemon, what is your perception on how trainers should go about obtaining their Pokemon and why?
That's personally up to the trainer. I obtain my Pokemon. I know you guys are not going to believe me, but I legitimately obtain my Pokemon. I do not have any power saves. When I need a Pokemon that is too hard for me to catch or breed, I just ask my friends to, gen me one. But that's pretty much up to the player. They can either be legit or not. I do not care about that. Hacking is not like stealing. It's not the worst thing in the world. I'm sure there's more things worse than this. Yes.
All right. Well, that's an interesting statement from Groudon Gamer. But I think we shall move on to our next question. So, second question. Hackers provide Pokemon of all kinds. In fact, Pokemon otherwise obtainable because of how exclusive they are, especially those based on cultural events and festivals. For example, the Bounce Magikarp that was shiny, that was released in China, I believe. I believe that's what one Pokemon that obviously I'm never going to go to China. I can't possibly get there. But in any case, moving on with the question, do you believe this is fair or not because of how rare these Pokemon are meant to be? So, what do you two think?
Damon, I'll go first if that's fine with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anyways, the question, if it's fair or not, right? Right, David? That's what you said?
Yes, do you believe it is fair?
I do believe it is fair, but not when you're using it in official competitions. That's the only reason. That's the only way I believe it. It's not fair. If you use it in official competitions, like worlds where you can gain money at the end. But anything else, like if you're playing friendly with friends or whatever, or online, just screwing around, it's perfectly fine in my opinion. Anyways, Damon, off to you.
Okay, this is quite a good question, and probably one of the only questions I think that a hacker would have to back their statement, in my opinion, and that is that the fact that these Pokemon that are so hard to come by can be distributed more easily. Now, I think that it's a good thing to have these Pokemon, but I think there are ways to go about hacking these Pokemon legitimately. So, for example, if you are cloning a Pokemon, you make that Pokemon the same as it was when it was captured and it was caught, or it was from an event condition, and therefore you are not actually changing any data of that Pokemon. You are still getting that Pokemon, but it is a clone of the original Pokemon that was taken. That I think is fine. But I do worry about when it comes to using these in competitive battles, because you do have an unfair advantage over people who do not have access to these same events. You basically give them a disrespectful and an unadvantageous situation. So it becomes less fun for that person, but more fun for you.
Any counter statements to that, Groudon Gamer?
Honestly, no. But Damon, if someone hacks in like David said, a Bounce Gyarados that was released in Japan, it's not a problem because it's pretty much just it's a normal Pokemon. It gives almost no advantage unless you're hacking in Marshadows, and like Ash had Pikachu's with that 10 million Thunderbolt thing, or whatever new mons that are going to be released soon, like maybe the Lycanroc. So that's pretty much all I have to say.
Just to say something on top of that, yeah, it's I just don't think that it gives you the same experience. These Pokemon are given away so that you go to these events, and they are there to legitimize the Pokemon community and to give it a bit more a stretch in what kind of people they reach to. So to circumnavigate that is just cheating the Nintendo system and cheating the people you play against.
All
Yeah,
right.
but wait. Sorry, David. Uh, yeah, but most events, pretty much almost all of the events that hackers and geners bring in and give away in like these free DPS giveaways you see everywhere online. Those giveaways are the ones that you cannot obtain in America for several months, maybe even up to a year, and people really do not want to wait that long. I've seen normal, legitimate players just go to these GTS giveaways because they said it themselves. They are not going to wait months just to get one Pokemon.
All right, all right. That is most definitely a question for another time, another day, perhaps. But in any case, we've got a very tight schedule. We've already reached our 10-minute mark, and this is supposed to be at most a 20-minute video. So let's move on with our next question. So, in regards to shiny Pokemon, do you two feel hackers are in the right in creating as many shiny Pokemon as people may want? Now, once again, this is exclusively, we're talking about shiny Pokemon. We're not concerned with, their competitive nature, their competitiveness. Let's just say Marshadow was only 10 Marshadows in all the world were allowed to be, shiny. But because it was, released shiny, suddenly hackers are giving away, shiny Marshadow. We're just spitballing a question now. Do you feel hackers are in the right in creating as many shiny Pokemon as people may want? Go.
Uh, David, to answer your question, I feel yes, they are in the right because shiny is only a skin. Yes, it's extremely rare. I believe 1 in 4,000 chance. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. I do live. Anyways, it's just a skin, a new skin over a Pokemon. While they are rare, I feel like they are in the right creating as many shiny Pokemon as they want. I feel like if hackers or geners, whatever you want to call them, if they made normal Pokemon giveaways like non-shiny, almost besides Damon or these legitimate players, they wouldn't be as mad because the legitimate players are basically saying that hackers are making shiny Pokemon effortless when it's in reality it's just a skin.
Okay, I'll keep my answer to that quite short and sweet. If you're using hacks to get shiny Pokemon, no, it doesn't give you any tactical advantage, but you are in effect jumping ahead of anyone who does not have the money or privilege to get power saves. So you are disrespecting the other player. You are disrespecting anybody who has put the effort into getting that shiny. And if everyone has a shiny, when do shinies stop becoming special?
Alright, do you have any counter arguments to that, Groudon Gamer?
I had something I wanted to say, but no.
Can't hear you, we can barely hear you, Groudon Gamer.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Just move on to the next question.
Alright then. Moving on to our question number 4. The competitive scene is filled with known and even unknown hackers. Without naming any of them, what is your opinion on them? Are they in the right to do what they do? Or are they in the wrong, in your opinions? Once again.
Definitely in the wrong. It becomes a situation where there is no game, no effort involved, no one bothers to trade or battle anymore because they can already hack into their game whatever Pokemon they want. Therefore, there is no reason for the Wi-Fi community to even exist if people can just hack these Pokemon into the game and create these perfectly wonderful Pokemon. If you use hacking Pokemon to get good IVs, EVs, stats to use in battles, that is wrong. But in the same sense, I think that hackers punish themselves for it. Eventually, it will just seem too easy, and they'll just stop playing way before they would if they raised Pokemon legitimately. If people want to use perfectly, um, perfect Pokemon to battle other perfect Pokemon, there are websites that you can use to do this, such as Pokemon Showdown. Before that, there was Shoddy. You don't have to hack and disrespect other players, just to fulfill your aims and goals within your game.
All right. Do you have anything to say, Groudon Gamer?
Now, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. Without naming any hackers, I do believe they are in the right in what they do, because they are making no profit unless they put ads on their videos or have some people donate to them. But that is not. They're not making people donate to them. they they just say in their descriptions, they say in their videos that if you want to get a Pokemon faster, you can donate to me a certain amount, and I'll give you this mod. No, they are not in the wrong, because they're not forcing anyone to do anything, but they are also giving away free shinies for those people who either don't have the time to go out and spend several hours, maybe even sometimes days, weeks, to go catch a shiny Pokemon.
If I could just counter that just a bit, it is hard to get these Pokemon, but by hacking you create an unfair advantage against anyone who wishes to play legitimately. Therefore, by hacking, you are forcing another player to play as you do by hacking, because if they don't, they effectively give up their advantage.
All right. Do you have any counter arguments to that counter argument, Groudon Gamer?
I do not, sir.
Alrighty then. We shall move on to our next question. Question number 5. Now, building on top of number 4, question number 5 says, there is a general consensus within the newbie community of the Pokemon community that because of the appearance of rampant hacking, I mean, people are playing, rampant hacking as if, there's hackers all over the place, there's hackers under every corner or so, and how many of them there are, they don't want to try competing because they can't compete if they try to play fairly against those who hack their Pokemon. Do you believe this is true? And if
Yeah,
so,
exactly
or
my
if
point
not,
beforehand.
No, wait,
finish the let me finish
no.
the question here too. Let me finish the question. Do you believe this is true? If so, or if not so, why?
Yes, I believe it's true.
No.
It's because if you don't hack your Pokemon to be in the same standard as the hacker, then you are at a disadvantage, and that is why hacking is toxic to the community. Every time you use a hacked Pokemon in a battle, chip by chip, you are destroying that Wi-Fi community, because if anyone wants to come into it new, they have to hack to be able to play at the same level you are. Fortunately, there are ways around this, and there is a thriving Wi-Fi Pokemon community where there are people willing to help, there are people able to help you and will help you to get those Pokemon that you need. So hacking does not need to happen.
To counter this, most that come into the Pokemon community, when they first buy a game, they see all these shiny Pokemon everywhere. They go to the hackers pretty much almost all. I would say about a good 65% of the new players that are new to the Pokemon community. They ask hackers for hacked Pokemon, and it's it's pretty much everywhere. Most of my friends are hackers. Most of my friends are in hacking servers. I have friends in VGC that are hackers. It's everywhere. You're not gonna stop it. Hackers are not toxic to the community. You don't go around seeing hackers yelling at people, screaming at people, or attacking people because their Pokemon are fake or not. Like
Actually, I have seen hackers who patronize people who don't hack. because they say that oh well, why don't you hack? You're an idiot. You should hack.
All right, all right, you two.
Wait,
This argument could go on, but we are approaching our 20-minute mark. So we shall move on to our final question, and then you will each give your final statements. And based on everything I've heard today, based on everything I've heard right now from you two debating this question, I shall make my final statements and my final truth as I see it, based on what you've told me. So the final question is this. Do you believe that Pokemon battles are all about the battles, and not whether your Pokemon was bred naturally or genned in? So, final statements and final answers to this question. Go.
I agree with that because Pokemon is pretty much almost all about the battles. Um, you see hackers and normal people who don't hack, they battle each other, and most hackers don't bring super OP leveled Pokemon unless they just want to start trolling randomly. If you like contact a hacker, I'm in a server. I'm not gonna say any names. This guy is a hacker, but he makes his teams fair for everyone. It's not a problem if you just ask or whatever. Damon, what do you have to say?
The concept of using a fair team just doesn't exist if you use hacked Pokemon, because no matter what you say, you have hacked in that Pokemon. You haven't put in the same effort that someone else possibly could not do. If you can't give in the time to Pokemon, if you can't give in the effort to Pokemon, then don't play Pokemon over Wi-Fi. You have other systems where you can battle at anyone. If just battling is all you see in Pokemon, that's fair. If that's all you want, just strategy and everything. There are places where you don't have to do any of this. But for the real players, the legitimate players, all you are doing is disrespecting their way of playing this game by hacking Pokemon into your game and using it against them. So therefore, there is no way to say that it is fair to battle someone who is not hacking while you hack.
To counter that, it is fair to battle someone who is hacking or who is not hacking, because most hackers, either way, after you battle them, they will give you some random prize Pokemon that is pretty much battle ready or whatever to just help you out. Be friendly, be kind.
There's no cause for that. There's no way to say that every single person who hacks is going to do that. You can't just say that everyone does that.
Almost everyone does. Pretty much all the people that I've battled will offer you a shiny or whatever mon you want after you finish battling them, win or
Well,
loss.
then you just killed the Wi-Fi community in effect. Then by anyway, what's the point in a shiny? It's no longer special because everyone has a shiny, and you get rid of the whole competitive issue because everyone has the same Pokemon.
Shinies were ruined a long time ago. I see no problem in people having full shiny teams, full hack teams, as long as they are legal. Everything is legal, stats legal, not
No,
250.
but that what I'm saying to you is that that person who you are battling against does not have the same advantage you have because they do not have the same because you do not have the same limits that non-hacker has. That non-hacker has limits. They cannot just get a random Pokemon. You have an advantage.
Most
All right, you
wait,
two. Very well, I will allow this final statement, but then I have to make my final conclusion based on all that I've seen and heard. All right?
no, go ahead and be on. I'll just stay quiet.
No. Go ahead, make your final statement, but then I have to say my truth.
No, hackers, they want to help you out. You don't see these Jenners online giving Pokemon and then being like, oh, hey, I gave you this, you have to pay me. They are not like that. They're not money thirsty sharks. They want to help people. They give you Mons with 6 IVs or whatever, egg moves, so you can breed them, you can do whatever you want with them. They want to help you. They don't want to destroy you.
All right.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, Damon, but I have to make my final statement. So, based on everything I've heard so far, the hackers in the Pokemon community, while they aren't exactly, the most favored people, they aren't exactly the monsters that most people would make them out to believe. So, do I think or do I see them as toxic to the community? I would have to say no. But at the same time, they aren't exactly helping the community as much as Groudon Gamer would make them out to believe. Because as Damon has said, there are those who, there are bad eggs in every basket. But likewise, there are also bad eggs in, the non-hacking community. So, the question we came here to debate is, are hackers, cheaters, toxic to the community? And by that, are they healthy or poisonous to the community? I would have to say, as my final statement, that they are not poisonous to the community. But at the same time, they're not the healthiest thing for the community. Again, this is all based on what Nintendo says. Nintendo doesn't like hackers, and that's what Nintendo says. But we, as the community, we define what our community is. The the company can say what they want about us, but we define our community. So, I believe the truth is, yes, I have to say that the truth is, hackers are not toxic to the community. However, they aren't exactly angels to the community. Would you both agree, or would you both agree with this truth that I've seen, that I've said?
I agree because, like you said, there are not. There's always those bad people in every basket. Even in the non-hacker community, there's a certain PokeTuber. He attacks people just randomly out of nowhere. For, hey, you have this Pokemon, I'm just gonna attack you. But yes, there are some bad hackers, but not all of them are bad. Just like in the non-hacking community, not all are bad. Most are good. But hackers are not the most toxic people in the Pokemon community.
Sorry, but I have to disagree. I do think that hackers are toxic to the community. Every time they use a hacked Pokemon or give away a hacked Pokemon, they make other Pokemon that are legitimate less special. It makes things where they give advantage to themselves. And when Groudon or anyone talks about these personal experiences, they are just that, personal experiences. To say that every hacker is this and that is just a false argument. When you can't just generalize these things. When it comes right down to it, if you use a hacked Pokemon and you use it against someone who has legitimately put that effort into it, morally you have no leg to stand on, because this is a person who has played the game legitimately and played it to their best advantage, and you have taken that away from them by using Pokemon that you have injected into your game just to beat that person. That is the only reason hacked Pokemon exist, to beat other people who play the game legitimately. And I think that is unfair and wrong.
Well, we all have our opinions, Damon, and as I said, that is the truth I see. That is the truth I seek. I don't care one way or the other who is in the right or who is in the wrong, whose opinion they think theirs is right or wrong. All I seek is the truth. And the truth that I see is that even though hackers are not exactly the angels, they aren't the saving grace of the Pokemon community, at the same time, they're not, the monsters that are out there. But, I'm going to continue searching for the truth. I'm going to continue looking for the truth. That is all I am concerned with. So if later on down the road I see that they are just pure monsters, I will reaffirm or deny what I've seen as the truth or etc. I will continue to look into this, and I will continue to expand on this question. But for today,
I just think it's important to say that I'm not saying that hackers are monsters. I'm not singling hackers out as individual. I'm saying hackers as a whole, as a community. That community, in my idea, not that every personal hacker is. I'm not being personal to every hacker. I just think I need to just say that.
Oh, it's all right, Damon. We all know. We all know that is what I said. That's why I said not all hackers are good, but then again, not all hackers are bad. So, we've debated this now for 30 minutes. We have gone over our 10-minute or 20-minute mark. But it was an interesting debate, and we have, learned a little bit more about hackers on both sides. Personally, I've only known hackers as, people who shiny hack Pokemon and give them away. And on my streams, I'm always saddened to hear or asked or told or asked by viewers, is the Pokemon I'm giving away shiny? If not, why isn't it shiny? There's another stream that gives away shiny Pokemon 24/7, but that's not what this debate was about. My debate about is, are Pokemon hackers toxic to the community? Not are they legitimate in doing what they do? No. Are they toxic to the community? And that is my truth. That is the truth I see, and that is the truth I'm putting down. They are not toxic. But then again, they're not the cure to what the community needs. So I will say our final goodbyes here, Damon and Groudon Gamer. I thank you both for helping me find the answer to this debate. I hope you both enjoyed your time here, hopefully. And I hope I didn't crush anyone's friendships, possibly.
No,
but
thank you very much, Impy. Thank you.
But in any case, to all of my viewers, I am Imperator Obvious, your fedora-wearing Reshiram, and I will see you all next time on Tactical Debate. Bye-bye!